As Doom Eternal and all of its main DLC has come to an end, there are minor updates being released to fix any glitches, bugs, balance issues, or to just add some new skins, battle mode maps, or the very popular master levels. So with the story of Doom Eternal being closed off for now, there's been a lot of discussion about what is the next game from id Software. Well, very recently, as of June 28, 2021, there's been a mysterious computer game known as Project 2021B, and it's visible on the Australian Classification Board. It has a rating of M for mature, because of the moderate impact it has with violence, along with some mild language and themes. Looking further down the list of details, it says there is violence along with online activity, so there could most likely be multiplayer like deathmatch or possibly something in co-op. It's also going to be multi-platform. There was another listing of a mystery game a while back. It was dubbed as Project 2021A, which you can still find on the classification.gov.au website. But this ended up being Doom 3 VR for the PlayStation VR, so not much else to say there. So now we can speculate what this mystery game could be. Some fans might expect another version of Doom 3, maybe a remaster with better graphics, increased frame rate, a higher resolution, but I'd like to think they are done with updating Doom 3. I think it's gotten enough attention by now. I went over this topic in another video, and I really want to see them bring back Hexen. It is my favorite shooter from the 90s because of its medieval setting around magic, monsters, spells, castles, dungeons, and that elaborate and annoying hub system. But still, it was a fun game. Or maybe Heretic. That's another classic game that could come back, but I believe both of these games are owned by other parties, so unless they've made an agreement behind the scenes, I doubt these two games will be this mysterious game. It then brings us to what games id Software would have easy access to revive. One of the big games we've all been talking about is the Quake franchise, but would they bring it back as a Quake remake with better graphics, updated visuals, and all that? You know, something like a 25th anniversary edition. Or will they start a brand new story with the enemies in Quake 1 or Quake 2 and branch off from there? There's also been a rumor that this new game will feature a female protagonist. Now, it's not the first time we saw a female character in a Quake game. There's been a few female enemies, and there's also Crash from Quake 3 as another example. My personal favorite out of all the Quake games was Quake 2, which was released in 1997. I love the story of the Strogg enemy, and I covered them in a full lore video, which I will leave a link to in case you want to know more about them. There's a possibility they could remaster Quake 2 as well, but I think they would either go with a new Quake story after Quake 4 or maybe just remaster Quake 1. There's a lot of things we could see them doing when it comes to Quake 1, Quake 2, or Quake 4. All of these games have multiplayer along with a single player, so it's something they could put a lot of focus on rather than a multiplayer only game like Quake 3. But since we have very little info on the matter, who knows, it might be Quake 5 for all we know, or maybe a brand new IP altogether. We've seen how successful Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal was, and how much work and care id Software put into these two games. They stand on their own as being great successors to the original Doom game, so we know this team has a passion for games they work on. Part of me really wants to believe they might bring back Hexen or Heretic in some way, and if id Software could get their hands on any of these two IPs, I'm very sure they would do these games justice. But I know, these games might be too hard to bring back. At this point, I'm not even sure if Raven Software still owns these two titles, or if they did, do they want to do anything with them? So that's it for the video. id Software has a listing for a mystery game that includes online activities and some mild gore. That's something that Quake does have already, but who knows, it could be anything. But what do you think it is? Put your ideas in the comments section. Be sure to leave a like on the video, and I'll see you next time.